My name is Yogita, and here I am going to emphasize on the Plato's work, The Laws. And here I will be mainly covered the chapter 1 to 4 about the writer. And the Plato was the writer as who was born in 248 to 247 347 BC. He was an ancient Greek philosopher and a key figure in Western philosophy. Such other work of the Plato's as the Republic, the Symposium, the Apology, and so on. The first four chapters of the Plato's work, The Law, established the foundation for the Plato's examination of laws, ethics, and governance. This book is presented as a dialogue between the three characters. First is Athenian, second is Maligus from Sparta, and third is Cilinus from Crete. They discuss the element and the purpose of law in relation to the well-being of the state and individual lives within it. Chapter 1st, Introduction to the Law and its Purpose, Setting and Structure. The book begins with the character traveling to the cave and temple of the Zeus on the Mount Ida in Crete, where they started discussing the nature of the law and governance. What the purpose of law? The Athenian lead the dialogue, raising the question that why laws are necessary. Laws, he argued, are not mainly to enforce discipline, but aim to build to cultivate virtue and harmony within the community. Virtue is order. The discussion emphasized that laws must guide citizens toward temperance, justice, and wisdom are the virtue which is essential for the stable society and societal order, suggesting that the well-ordered laws produce the well-ordered citizens and peoples. Chapter 2nd, The Role of the Education and Traditional Education as Foundations. The dialogue moved to the importance of the education in establishing a lawful society. The Athenian argue education instills respect for laws as young citizens learn obedience through structured learning. Tradition and society stability. Social stability. They emphasize on how continuity and respect for past laws contribute to societal stability. The Athenian character argued that while laws are evolved, they must be grounded in traditional values to maintain authority. If we take the example with the current, as Britain have democracy and has sixth largest GDP, but it don't have any written constitution because their system is totally based on conventions and political tradition. Another point is the types of government. There's an early exploration of different form of government. Nothing that law must suit the nature and custom of the people they govern. The Athenian hint that the government form may offer stability, anticipating later ideas in political theory. Chapter 3rd. Chapter 3rd, Governance and the Ideal City, Vision of the Ideal State. Vision of the Ideal State. These chapters expand on the concept of the ideal city, envisioning a place where laws function to create moral citizens. The function of the discussion introduced the notion of the governance not as a form of the control but as a framework for citizens to achieve personal and collective goods. Lastly, the control over the passion. The character debate the role of the self-control in governance, highlighting how good law curb excessive and encourage moderation. The Athenian emphasize the need for balance where the state enforces too many restrictions but foster an environment that nurtures self-regulation. And the last point of the chapter 3rd is the justice as a pillar of law. Justice is identified as a central tenet of the governance. According to the dialogue, law must embody fairness and equality, making justice accessible to all the citizens. These concepts link back to the idea that law should serve the common good rather than individual interest. Now I move lastly the chapter 4. The chapter 4, Religion, Law and the Common Good. Religion as a social foundation. Religion is introduced as an essential element of law and society. The Athenian argued that religious belief encouraged moral behavior, making it easier to cultivate respect for the laws. The divine influence on law. The Athenian also suggests that the law should be seen as divinely inspired, giving them a higher authority. These beliefs and reinforce obedience among citizens who view Plato advocates for a mixed constitution where power is divided between the different branches of the government to prevent any one individual or the group from dominating the other. Laws should be designed to promote the common good while also protecting individual rights and freedom. The public interest led Plato argued that primary goal of the law is to promote the common good, which is the well-being and the happiness of the entire community, and public interest is somewhere law were designed to promote the justice, morality and the general welfare. The private interest, as Plato recognized that individuals have their own interests, desires and rights, which must be respected and protected by the state. Lastly, here is a concise conclusion of Plato's work, The Laws. Main argument: Plato argued that the ideal society is one in which the reason and the wisdom govern, and where the law are designed and to promote the common goods. The critique of the Plato's existing society. Plato critics exist society include Athens for their emphasis on wealth, power and individualism rather than common goods. Vision for the ideal society. Plato ideal society. Magnesia is a utopian community that value wisdom, virtue and the common good. It is governed by the philosopher ruler who make decisions based on the reason and wisdom. The legacy: the law has had a significant impact on Western philosophy, influencing the thinker as Aristotle,